Welcome back to another live session. Last day of trading week, Friday live traders. Hope that you had an enjoyable day and starting another live trading day. Pretty important day here. Last day of trading week, Friday. We'll be looking for trading opportunity along the way to see what kind of trade we have on gold, and as well as we'll be looking at also the currency pairs. Gold now at the moment, what we are looking at here in this market to see potential entry opportunity, and as we can see the progression of this London and NY session, gold was pretty bullish. You guys have seen that here quite a few days. We have seen that bullish market structure, and in that bull market, what we can see, the market was maintaining pretty sharp market structure in this area. So at the moment, what we can see on gold from this support level, there's a pretty sharp breakout to the upside with a pullback, and we can see the market now potentially moving for another bounce back to the upside here on gold. Now what we can see here on gold is this market is currently, we have seen back-to-back 3 sessions pullback. After this 4-hour impulse here, pullback, and expecting another potential impulse to the upside on gold. Now we will be looking at the full analysis and then looking for trade setup. But before I go to the full analysis, guys, I would like to say all the members are here. Thank you very much for joining. Welcome. Here is what you can see, that the market currently having pretty established trend, and in that trend, that what we can see currently, gold in a pullback. What we can expect here in this market for a potential deeper pullback, and with this deeper pullback, we can expect the market to bounce again if needed. So that being said, here on gold, what we can see, the market is pretty sharp at the moment. It's Friday, last day of trading. You guys ready for an entry? Say yes in the live chat if you're ready for an entry. But before entry, as you know that we had a very high win rate in this live session as well as in the premium group. We want to keep that win rate high, and because of that, if we need to enter, we will be entering. If not, that will not be entering into any trade. That being said, let's look at here what kind of trading opportunity we have in this market. That being said, thank you for joining. Just say yes in the live chat if you're enjoying the live session. All right, cool. Let's look at here on gold, that we can see the market. Here is the move back to the upside with one single impulse from this level, followed by this pullback here. Now, what we can see here in this market, guys, this is narrow doji on the 4-hour time frame. Previous session, we have seen that a narrow doji formation. Of this session, the market has created potentially another doji formation here in that area. So what we can expect here, both directional bias possible. There is a 2 reason I'm going to explain now why we think that gold might be lower time frame bullish and bearish, both depending on the price action we will be looking at in the market, which one we are going to do. I will join the stream after long gap. Congratulations, Kevin. Welcome for growing channel and your consistency. Welcome. No, absolutely appreciate your support, guys. Yes, here we are putting the genuine education, genuine trade, genuine values, and absolutely all the members are supporting the channel. That's really appreciate your support, guys. And here is what we can see, that this market, we always focus on the education, the value, so that for that reason you guys are here, and we can have the best outcome from each live session. And you guys have seen yesterday's NY session and also the London session. Now, I believe that if you consistently watching the live session, It's not gonna take very long for you to become a better trader. Can you check dollar yen? As I think it's time for reversal. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, thank you very much for joining this live session here. So here is what we can see from the 4-hour perspective here. This is a move back to the upside with one single impulse, followed by this pullback here. And we can see that back-to-back 2 4-hour doji in this area, which is smaller candlestick pattern. We can see that from that level, expecting that gold either to break below and then bounce back up or goes up. And we will be looking at now absolute level that we will be looking at in this session for an entry on gold. So 4-hour previous session we saw a narrow doji. Now this session we still have almost 3 hours for this 4-hour candle. But what we can expect here, what I think this candle might be even forming a doji here. So that means that if the market breaking this low here, especially support break, can bring a potential buying opportunity here in this market. As bigger picture trend, if you look at the daily, we are looking at the daily here. So daily open, that you can see there is a daily bullish candlestick pattern here. And with this daily bull candle today, we can see the market has tested the upper shadow and then started to drop here from that level. Now, what we are looking at in this market from the daily perspective here, this is the daily price action. There is a very nice looking, interesting market structure here in this market. This is if you look at here, you can see this is a resistance level here. And in that resistance line, what we can see that the market in this resistance line, if you look at closely, we can see that there is a sharp rejection and then another rejection and then another rejection, which is a dynamic resistance acting. And today's what we have seen that after yesterday's bullish move, that here where from the daily, the market, you can see started to break below here in that level, from that level. Now, as the market started to break below in this level, expecting that gold to potentially, what I think, retest again to the upside. So breaking below that, because it's still a bull market, we always need to look for, also note today is monthly close. That's an absolutely a very good point, guys. This is what I really discuss always. Keep to the edge. Okay, so this is what I call the 4th dimensional trading. So what do I mean by 4th dimensional trading is that not only look at the price action, not only look at the candlestick pattern, but also look at the timing, not the time frame. Timing is absolutely important, and very few traders can master that timing. And if you want to be a great trader, then you must master the timing. Okay, so what do I mean by timing? Timing is, for example, if you see that one 4-hour candle close, that's why backtesting more often you'll see that you may not find the exact accurate result from the backtesting. Okay, so if you look at what do I mean by this, see that if you go back to the chart here, if you look at the lower time frame, 1 hour, 4 hour, or the 15 minutes, and go past the chart, what do you see here when you go past the chart here? And you'll see that all those candles look same, right? They look same. And even from the volume, I try to look at from the volume, from long observation, it doesn't provide accurate information. The only way is to look at the live market, because when you look at this price action, let's say in the past 4-hour candle closed, okay, and you will see that all those candles look same. But if you look at the actual actual market, if you observe the live market, you'll see that they are very different. Okay, so that means a candle closed on Asian session on the first day of trading week on the 4-hour, and a candle closed on NY session after a high impact news, very different. And also a candle closed on the second day of the trading week where there was a high impact news in the morning, that means in a Asian session, will be very different than a candle close in Tokyo session where there was no news or anything like that. So that is why looking at the live market will give you a clear understanding of the market structure. So that being said, here is what we are looking at, the lower time frame. As I mentioned, guys, here is the lower time frame that I'm looking at for a possible market structure formation here. Now with this market structure, what do you see? That this is where, if you look at the 1-hour and the 4-hour chart here, so you can see that 4-hour price action where there is a doji, and in the doji now the market is trying to break below. So this candle during this time and also in NY session will be very different. So we need to keep eye on the timing, and that's the primary understanding of. And also a candle closed in NY session on the monthly close, right? So today is the monthly close, right? You see that NY session will be different than London session, very different. Because can you tell me why it is different? And that's why predictability, the probability increases during that time period. Can anyone tell me why today NY session could be very different than London session? And you know that this is because of the monthly close. But you know, that's why I always say that always ask question. Intellectual curiosity makes better trader. Okay, so but why that happens? Can you explain why do last session? Because when you can understand the reason behind it, you can also overcome many other areas. You can understand other reasons that's happening in the market, because one thing related to the other. News and close of the monthly today. Yes, that's what we are discussing. Said so in NY session news. Yes, absolutely, that's a good catch. And also monthly close at the end of the session. So monthly close might be slight pullback of the current trend for liquidity. Okay, so if we look at the monthly close, we will not be predicting how the monthly close will be. Try to understand what the information we need here. We will not be predicting how this monthly candle will be closed, okay? Because either it could break the high, it could come down. What we need is increased volatility. So what is the advantage of increased volatility? Before the monthly close, it's increased volatility. That's all we need. Because when you see that, you know, most of the traders who are very beginner, little education can give you a very clear understanding of the market structure. Most of the 90% trader can read the market structure, knows that it is a pin bar here, there's a hanging man, there's a shooting star, you know, we're gonna buy or sell. Most of them knows. But the only problem happens is that when you buy or sell, the market just goes against you. That is the problem. That's the confidence breaks. So the increased volatility, what it will do be, the market will be more predictable. So that is what you need, right? Predictable market where you open position after price action confirmation and the market goes in your favor in a fastest way possible. Okay, so that being said, on the monthly, we will not be predicting this monthly candle because anything can happen. What we need to predict is that on the last session of the monthly close day, when the market structure created for a potential move or bigger ATR candle on a support, that kind of where there is a high probability trade setup, we will be looking to enter in those trades. I hope that makes sense to you. Now it's very simple. The only thing that you need is patience and a little bit of dedication, and it pays off, right? Being a trader is freedom. If you guys like trading, like this stream. If you like trading, like this stream. Let me see how many traders like trading. If the likes is going up, that means that I know that you guys you like trading, and the thing that you want to do, you need to like. And even if you don't like, you'll see that it's habitual. Okay, so there are two ways we can create something. Okay, one is by choosing. Okay, so you'll see that action. Okay, so we take action, right? If you don't feeling like doing something, but if you take action, it creates that feeling of being, and then that feeling reinforce further action, and then that action reinforce that feeling. So it's a feedback loop. Similarly, if you don't like trading, but from an objective, like that, from a independent perspective, you know that trading something can help you to become better, financially free, then you can like it. And when you like it, you start to see all the reason that you find for liking it, and then you go from there. Okay, feedback loop, slowly you become better trader. I hope that is how most because anything you want to try is hard, right? And in the beginning, it's not gonna be easy, and that's where you need to do from a very conscious point of view that you're gonna do it, you're gonna like it. So let's see here. What you can see in this area, that the market slowly breaking that low here. If you look at the 4 hour again, we see the price is coming to the previous session's low. Here is coming to an important support level. And I would like to see that how the market structure is forming here in this area for a potential entry. So 5-minute chart, the market is coming below here. This is the nearest support here that you can see. There's a breakup structure here that you can see the market slowly breaking that low here, and we might see the price to come back below here to this support level. So you can see the market slowly breaking that low, and we would like to see that support to be broken before we look for any possible entry. The previous session's low is here, and as it is a long-term bull market, breaking that low here, we could see the market to come back here to the 4-hour 10 EMA along with also this support level. That is where we can look for possible entry. First, we need to see the market is showing its enthusiasm to drop back to this support level here. Welcome. Thanks for joining the live session, guys. If you have any question, you can ask in the live chat. So we can see from this high, we see there is a breakup structure, expecting the market to potentially break this support level, come back to this previous session's low here. And from the daily that we can see, it's a pretty sharp bearish move here. And expecting it to drop well below to this support level here for another potential bounce back to the upside in this market. It's a pretty sharp drop back to this long-term support level. From this high, you can see the market slowly building the pressure back below, expecting to potentially come to that support level here and breaking that low. We could see that potential rejection back above once the market managed to break that low here. And market in a very crucial level, you can see there is a 15 minutes close coming. And with this 15 minutes close, this is an important support. I'm going to place buy limit in this area. Not by market, it's a pending order. So around 25 pip. We'll be taking 2 to 1 reward to risk. If the market drops in that level, it will be a buy limit for a possible support test. and with around 236.38 pip stop loss. So placing buy limit $3404.56, stop loss at 3400.67, and TP target at 3412.42. So nearly to 40 pip stop loss. If the market drop, we will be on the trade, as we always look for the high probability setup. Looking at buy limit here on Xauusd, expecting for the market to trend down here to this support level, and waiting for a potential break below to this support level here, expecting the market to trend back down here to this key level, and that's what we will be looking for possible upside trade. And what I think, as this is 4-hour support and also the key level, and 4-hour 10 EMA, expecting a potential rejection from this key level of support here to the upside with a move. And also this is the previous support level here in that area, and of course there is proper risk management is needed for any move. Buy limit at 3404.56, stop loss at 3400.67, and TP target 3412.42 level. Now, here's the key here, and expecting for the market to potentially trend back down, and we might see the price to drop to that support where there is a high liquidity, and then to revert again back to the upside. So along with gold also, if you look at the timing, now a couple of questions that we can look at here in this trade is about the why we have placed this pending order in that area, right? So anytime we open any trade, we must ask a very vitally important question about the strategy, and you'll see that more often this is a very common practice that happens more often, that we open a trade and we just think that we are right, but the trade become wrong, right? Which is very common. Now, if we are following the strategy, any strategy works, right? Strategy means that you have an edge in the market. What we need here is, with the strategy, we need an edge in the market, and that edge come from the past, right? So what happened in the past? Here you can see this is a key level where the market has bounced from that support level in the past. And if you look at the 4 hour, also that level aligning with the 4 hour 10 EMA, where every time the market was respecting this 10 EMA, except this one here, we see the market was respecting this 10 EMA, and chances for even the market with the monthly close, if it wants to break below here, once the market drop to that 4 hour support, as there is a bullish momentum here, we can expect the market to test this support and then to revert again back to the upside here in this market. So that being said, here is a 15-minute chart. Slowly the market trying to break below here, expecting it to trend down to the support level. And here is the move that you can see there is a doji. And with this doji on the 5 minutes, the candle closing, expecting that the market to, we see already it's overextended below the support, but we need one more drop for our entry. And that's where, if the market drops here, very chances there will be a false breakdown and then the market to revert again back to the upside here in this market. There's a move that you can see on gold, and it's coming potentially back below here and expecting further downside as if the market become overextended here, expecting that rejection back even here to the upside. So far was expecting a full big breakdown that you can see slowly the market here in the area. We might see that now a pullback to the upside, but our entry is well below. If it triggers, then we will be entering into the trade, as this is the level that today so far I'm looking at for an entry. Though we see, if you look at the 1 hour chart here, this is where the market was breaking that below here to this support level in that area where there is an important area of value. It reached that 4 hour level where there is a doji. Now from this zone we have seen the market, in fact, after overextension there is a rejection back to the upside on the 15 minutes. There is a 1 hour doji that you can see on the lower time frame. We can see here on the lower time frame from the 4 hour perspective here, that's a long doji on the 4 hour, expecting the market to possibly drop back below again. We will be entering only from a very important area of value. We see that there is a break of support. What I think, still there is another probability for the market to come back for deeper liquidity gap here before we look for that entry. So this 15-minute candle that expected to break below further, but you can see there is a bounce on the 15-minute candle closed. So here is what we can expect on this lower time frame on gold is for this high, the market to potentially come back for another drop here. So you can see that there's a bounce straight back to the upside after break of this high, and our entry point potentially to this 4-hour 20 EMA here. We placed that entry yet there. What's your thought on that? Now coming up later today, also two very important news, CAD and dollar. So we could see significant movement on the dollar pairs. While you are looking at potential entry on gold, also I would like to look at first let's look at the DXY, guys, with another screen here. And DXY can give us better understanding of today what the market might be doing. While we are looking at gold here, and gold keeping on the side to see an entry, we see there is a bounce from this support level on gold, and we'll be waiting for that move. Then we can find that entry as soon as we see the market has shown that. In the meantime, let's look at what's happening with DXY here. Now DXY, we have seen that there was pretty sharp bearish engulfer here with a gap retest, and after this gap retest on DXY, what we can see, the market after this gap test, there is a big drop here, pretty massive bearish engulfer formation on DXY. And what we can see with this doji, the market has dropped here and couple of sessions pull back to the upside. Now the question is here, DXY, how the market is going to do here. Is the market coming back here to create a new lower low if you look at the daily, or it's gonna bounce? Now, as we discussed in our previous session, previous day, as there is a daily pin bar here, which is massive bearish pin bar on the daily time frame, followed by, we can see that a daily bearish middleman, which also has a gap open in this area on DXY, which has a long wick on both direction on DXY here. And as both direction has long wick on DXY, what I think that today any bounce or pullback can give potential selling opportunity in this market. So that being said, here what you can see that a move narrow pullback, expecting the market to have possibly another pullback to the upside and then to drop back down in the direction. So DXY in a zone, what I think the market may drop back again to the major direction of the trend. So if DXY being potentially be bearish again, that we could see that completely mirror effect on. If we look at the euro dollar, let's look at the euro dollar here. And if you look at the euro dollar, what we can see from this level, this is where euro dollar so far from this support level, we have seen that bounce and back-to-back 4-session pullback. Now, this is the current session, current 4-hour closing in 1 hour. How this candle closing is also very important, as the market, the way this showing here, what I think as DXY initially could go for deeper liquidity gap. What I think euro dollar may try to test this support. This is a speculation. As you can see, there is a series of lower high here. So there is a possibility for euro dollar, what I think, that the market to come back here and then to bounce again. So it might even range in that support and resistance here on euro dollar. So this is support, this is resistance. What we can expect on euro dollar, the market to possibly break further below here and then to be rebut again. So the possibility on euro dollar here for a retest of this support is higher. Today, what I think that this support could be an important level that we can look for potential buying. If the market breaks here, we need to observe the market structure again for entry or how it is rearranging its structure. So that being said, euro dollar, looking at this support here for an entry, possibly on British pound US dollar, should be the same kind of market structure is being formed here. So along with the euro dollar, as we are keeping on the watch list, if you look at the British pound US dollar, we see that Gbpusd in fact little bearish than euro dollar. That reflection seen on Gbpusd, and that we can see the market slowly trying to break that low. So I'll be more inclined to the euro dollar price action here for this drop, as that support is a neckline of this inverted head and shoulder as well. So if the market penetrate back below here, we'll be looking for potentially buying in that area. So selling on euro dollar is rare at the moment, is because if you look at this 4-hour move, it's a bullish impulse with a narrow correction, and you can expect another impulse potentially. And that's why even though we are expecting that euro dollar to drop to this support level, for me the best area to buy is here, this support level. So that being said, on euro dollar we are here. Let's look at on Xauusd to see how the market potentially be heading here in that area. On gold to see in fact how the market structure is evolving over time. Looking at the 4-hour again, on the 4-hour chart we can see that the market has crossed that low and now it's trying to go back to hit that high here. So as we see that rejection from this support level, we'll be waiting for a full pullback here. I'm still looking at this support level here, because the market in a zone here, it is anytime we could see that it's getting another rejection back below to this support level here. Okay, so 5 minutes here, it's going to the resistance line. it's a one single move here, there is still also a probability for rejection back below as well. Let's wait to see how the market is moving to that resistance line. We're going to enter for a sell. Let's look at the 5 minutes. So you see there is a pin bar from this high here on the 5 minute chart, and are you going to sell here? We see the market reach that resistance line from the 4 hour, and we could see that possibly further upside here. But at the same time, there's 30 minutes candle closing, and I think that this, as the market reach that key level, possibility for break here again back below is higher. So we could potentially look for sell, not now. We want to see first the market has managed to break that session's high here, and the previous one's high is here. So the market sentiment changes. So if the price is going to hit that key level here on the 4-hour, two important resistance line that you can see, one is here. Look at the daily here, you can see the other one is here. But you can see from here, from 1-hour level, there is a 1-hour bullish pin bar, and here as you can see the market from here pretty sharp bounce to the upside, which is one single move, and where you can see the market reach that key level of resistance here, and in that resistance what we see the price slowly building the pressure back to the upside, potentially crossing that previous session's high, and also which is the daily level of resistance here, and the market may potentially go back to the daily high here. So this pending order is expired. We will be looking for readjusting. So as a part of our high win rate, we want to keep that trade properly running. Here is what we can see. I have closed the pending order. Pending order is expired. So pending order is expired here, and in that zone where there is a bounce to the upside here, and that's where we can see the price slowly building the pressure back to the upside. In that, from this support level, what we can expect here, that the market to potentially going back to hit that daily high, and the possibility for another rejection from the daily high is higher. So this is today's high here. So this is daily high. From here, we can see the market slowly pushing that price back to the upside here. And from this support level, the market slowly building that pressure. And with this support move that we can expect for the market to potentially to go to that level. This is a key level of resistance. So we close that sell limit, buy limit, and we are currently looking for possible entry as the market. If we look at closely what we have seen in that area, guys, that from this a break to the upside here, it's now reaching to, let's delete all those lines because this became invalid everything, because we see there is a breakout. And now let's look at from the fresh perspective in the market again. If you look at the daily chart on gold, what you can see today, let's look at again from the beginning. That's what I always tell, that whenever you see the setup become invalid or expired, look from the beginner mindset. That means from the fresh perspective. Okay. So if you look at here, you can see this is the move that you can see to the upside. And in that move, this is where the key level of resistance here in that area. Okay. Now, because the market on the key level of resistance here, if you look at the 4-hour, you can see the market from this support level has made its move back to the upside here. So from this support, what we can see, the price slowly trying to push that back to the upside here. Now, looking at this market structure, there is a structure formation here. If you look at here, you can see. And with this structure, what we are seeing, the market slowly trying to build the pressure back to the upside here. And today's high is in this area, which is the today's resistance line. And looking at the lower time frame from the 15-minute chart from this support level, there is potentially an upside bias here. And this is what I'm looking at. This is the daily high. What you could see the market here, because it's a very sharply bull market, and there is a one single bounce back to the upside here, and that bounce, if you look at what you can see, the market is approaching that key level of resistance here. All right, so that bounce now, because it's a long-term trend, is bullish. If you look at, always you see that when we are looking for an entry, we always look for a long-term trend. That's where the key is, right? So we need to look for the bigger picture. You see that here there was a huge liquidity grab yesterday in the NY session. You guys have seen that market move back to the upside and pull back, and you can see another move. So the market is basically in a sharp uptrend. Now in that uptrend, we saw that there is a pullback here, and with this pullback, the market dropped to that support level here, and from that support, now it got the rejection back again. Now still the market from here is just overextended from this resistance line. We still can look at the market to drop here, but for a high probability entry, if this price going back to the daily high here, you can see that this is the daily high today at 3417 level. That's where, once the market managed to break that high, I will be looking for sell, because there is a very sensible reason behind it. Is if you look at the daily chart, you can see that it's a sharply uptrending market structure. The flow is to the upside, and that's why you see that all the buy limit that I placed also in the major direction. So we always look at the trend, right? So you always look at the trend here, and that's where we need to look at in the market, the trend, so that we can, the trend help us to find potentially high probability trades, and that's why you want to look at the entry in the major direction of the trend. That being said, here this is key level of resistance 341718 level, expecting that the market to bounce back to the upside to the resistance line and grab the liquidity and then revert back again. So you see that bullish move in that area, showing that possibly the market to have a retest of this daily resistance line in this area, and the price has just crossed this 4-hour resistance. As you can see, after back-to-back 3 sessions low, the market has broken and bouncing back to the upside and potentially to go ahead and hit that daily high. And I think there is a possibility for the market to have a rejection from this high here. gold is going already. If it goes according to the plan and resistance level, then sell to your previous buy limit. Quite viable entries. Yeah, that's a good point. So now from the this is from this buy limit, it's a very, very high probability entry that we place, that you can see the market move back. But when we are selling, we have to be very careful because, as I mentioned, the flow, the direction of the trend here is up, right? So you need to look for high probability setup in the major direction of the trend. The idea does look gold paper chart quite solid. Let's go. Thank you. Welcome. Pending order expired. Welcome. No, not yet. We haven't found another entry yet. We are waiting for that. Now, again, it's that, when we are entering in the direction of the trend is a very important entry. But if you look at here, you can see that this is where the resistance level, and you can see the market slowly. This is the 1 hour price action, and if this market is pushing to the upside here, okay, so if you look at here, you can see this is a resistance line, key level, and if the market is going to that level here, to the key level, and that's where the high probability trades are. I think the market now possibly because the market moves from liquidity to liquidity. So if you look at it, grab the liquidity here, now potentially go back to cross that daily high and then grab another liquidity, and possibly to even create a new higher high, because the major trend here is bullish to the upside. If you look at here, you can see it's a bull market. And in this bull market, if you look at here, you can see the market from this support level push that price back to the upside here, crossing that level where there is a high liquidity. Welcome. Now, if you look at again to the daily, where the market from the daily is from this support level, it's got that bounce, and from the 4 hour here, that we can see from this support level has got that rejection to the upside here, and from the lower time frame here, where pretty sharp bounce. We can see from here, the market is slowly pushing that price back to the upside here, expecting it to go to 341718 level. So you see there is a 5 minutes bearish rejection from the high here. Let's look at from the 4 hour, as the market has overextended to the upside from this daily level. If you look at here, you can see the market tested this daily high. So it's gonna create a head and shoulder here from the 5 minutes. Series of high low broken, and I think we could see the potential for a drop to this intraday support, as the market has crossed that high here, and this could be a selling opportunity, but I'm just looking at for the overall the market situation here. So you see the 4 hour rejection from the high after creating series of lower high here multiple times. The market has first time crossed that level, and from here you can see series of lower high. This is the first time the market has broken that series of lower high and could try to break below here for another retest. Okay. So there is a possibility, what I think here, for a potential, what I think here, the market may test that level and could break that low here that I'm looking for potential sell, as there is a breakout. The market became overextended and there's a 15 minutes candle closing. So I am going to look for sell with 40 pip stop loss here. To the support level, and even we could run this trade when I'm not on live. So make sure, guys, proper risk management is key. I'm entering by market. So open a sell on gold by market here, and as per the detail as shown here. So okay, so sold gold from this level for a potential drop, and expecting that the market to have possible rejection. There's a candle close here, and if we look at the 5 minutes here, we can see there is also we might see some kind of rejection in that area. They're expecting for the market to possibly to reject back below. If you look at the 15 minutes, you can see there's a candle close. But I think that if the market reject, we could see the price straight coming back to this 15 minutes support level. So running this trade for possible TP hit here, as we are almost nearly to the end of the session. This is the trade that I'm running in this live session. We'll keep running in. It's properly risk managed. If the market drop to halfway below with this move, then we will be looking for taking 50% profit and then moving the stop loss at entry. That way we'll be managing this trade. Welcome, thank you. Okay, so as if you guys know that I will be coming on live again in NY session with another update, another live session coming with the news. Also will be trading here. This trade is on, and also I have sent out to the community, to the baby community, for entry. And thanks for joining this live session, guys. I will be seeing you. You see a little bit the market started to move in our direction, and I can extend for a couple of minutes the live session for this trade, guys. I'm extending few more minutes. I'll just take a one minute break and then coming back with another update. So we'll keep that trade. For this trade, we'll keep the live on for a couple of more minutes here. All right, so we can see some here expecting that before the 4 hour close to come back below here for another retest. That is where looking for possible downside here in this market. So let's look at the 15 minutes here. We can see there is a candle closed, and looking at also the 5 minutes price action where the market slowly potentially breaking that support level here to create a new lower low in this market. There's quite a few long wick candle in this area, and with this 5 minutes candle, expecting that the market to potentially reject back again. 4 hour support is important level here that you can see on this 4 hour support, expecting the market to trend and then to revert again back to this support level. So we're looking at here on the lower time frame for a potential break of structure. If we look at, we can see potentially some rejection coming from the top here on the lower time frame. Alright, so you saw there is a pin bar on the lower time frame, and with this pin bar, the market now slowly started to build the pressure back below, and would like to see that it's breaking that low here for a potential take profit here in this market. But you can see some downside coming here in this market, and expecting the market to drop that low here, break that support level, potentially continue to trend down here. And that's what we're waiting to see, that the price to, if you look at here, you can see this is the 30 minutes price action, and also the 15 minutes price action here, which is pretty long dodgy on the 15 minutes, expecting that the market to break that support. I'm holding on to the trade for potential breakdown here. Right guys, are you with me? So you see some breakdown on Xauusd and coming with this double top, expecting to break that low here, 333411 or below, and the 4-hour support is 3410, which is an important support level, expecting the market to trend back down here and potentially to continue to drop here to this support level. I'm on the trade and we are almost nearing to the entry, entering into the profit zone. Just now we are on the profit zone, expecting to break that low further here. Are you guys with me? So let's try to catch some peep here for the first trade of the day. And if the market drop here with this move, we could see that complete break to this support level. Guys, so here is a support level, and if we look at the 30 minutes price action here, which is pretty sharp rejection from the top, and 15 minutes here also closing potentially as a doji in this area. There is a doji here that you can see the market potentially to break that low, potentially to come back below here to this support level. So there's a 15 minutes rejection from the high here, and expecting the market to break that support here, potentially below to this level, or even breaking below further to create a new lower low in this market. What we are looking at here for another potential drop back below, and 30 minutes perspective and the 15 minutes, what you can see the market trend is highly bearish. We see the rejection, but I wouldn't say highly bearish, because it's a bearish setup here, but the overall trend is bullish. We are short-term sell. If you look at the 1 hour here, they're expecting the market to potentially break that low and then to return back below. So you will be taking a quick position here for this drop, and once we see the market manage to break that low here, enough liquidity gap, we can take that profit out of the market as soon as we see the price has shown that pattern here in that area. We see some liquidity gap here in that area. Here is a support level, expecting the market to break below. Guys, are you ready? And would like to see that it's coming to the 4 hour support level here. But I think that if this market drops aggressively to the support level, we might see that it's coming even below that low here. And that's what we're looking for, a trade to close with comparatively good profit in the first move, that as soon as it happens in this area. Here is a break of support potentially, and expecting to break that low here to create a new lower low in this market. We see there is a head and shoulder, and expecting the market to break from that head and shoulder. There is a liquidity gap, multiple times the market slowly break the low here, expecting for the price to potentially drop back below here to the support level to create a new lower low in this market. All right, cool. We are gaining. As I mentioned, guys, our goal here is to maintain that high win rate, right? So this is the consecutive win in this live session every single day. If you guys enjoying the live session, don't miss out to like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every single day. Whereas you can see the market slowly building the, well done, pushing back down and let it drop. Let it drop further. All right, cool. I'm going to take profit now. I've closed the profit here. So we secured the profit here with this trade around 14 pip. It's just the starting of the day, last day of trading week. Now patience is key, as I mentioned earlier, guys. You know that I take a lot of time to enter a trade, and that's what the main the goal here is, to make sure that we maintain that profit target and we maintain that profit almost each trade, maintaining that over 90% win rate. Are you guys enjoying the live session? Again, stay tuned. Coming up another live session during the NOI session. I'll see you there again, trading live together. Until that, stay well, stay happy.